Welcome to the Art of Living Free series with Anthony Silard.
We would love your support to keep these valuable videos and podcasts free for everyone. To make a donation, please visit theartoflivingfree.org. 100% of all proceeds go to nonprofit education programs.
Today, Dr. Silard continues exploring the 5 ways excessive technology use is harming your relationships. Part 3.
Hi, I'm Anthony Silard, and welcome to the Art of Living Free. Today, we're going to explore what time on our phones and devices displaces in our life. Loneliness is increasing the more time we're on our devices because we're spending less time with our family and friends, because they're the water that's spilling out of the bathtub when we drop in the bowling ball of our smartphone or our laptop or our tablet or whatever device we're using to connect with each other electronically rather than in person. But here's the hard part. What can you do? I don't have a magic panacea to offer you, but here are a few things you can do. So one thing you could do is you could tell your friend, hey, did you know, by the way, that there's a study that's found that even having a phone visible increases stress for everyone for everyone that's sitting at a table? It's true. Just having the phone there, even if it never buzzes, increases stress because we associate it with all these things that we have to do, right? Pending tasks that are on that phone, all those like stressful impending tasks are embedded in that phone, and they're gonna pop up and jump on us at some point, right? So it's stressful. The other thing you can do is you can say, hey, can I ask you a question? Would you be willing, like perhaps both of us could turn our phones off for the meal so we could just really talk? Right? That's another possibility. Of course, that's kind of putting yourself in a vulnerable position because you're saying, hey, I want to talk with you. But then on the other side, like, what's the point of going to lunch with someone if you can't really talk? There's a number of other possible solutions and ways to handle it. Another is to say, hey, I have an idea. We have an hour for lunch, right? So how about this? So we can really have a good conversation with each other. You want to spend the next 5 or 10 minutes checking your phone, and I'll do the same. And then we can turn them off for the other 50, 55 minutes and just kind of hang out with each other, right? So if you ask in that way and you do it, do it with a little bit of humor, right? And maybe like a story. Oh my God, I read this book or I saw this article or something to show like you won't believe what phones are doing with people. Anyway, I don't want to take this to an extreme, but maybe we could, just like have our phones off for, just for our lunch, so we can hang out. Most people will want to do that. And by the way, one of the secrets to making that happen, use the word we. When people hear the word we, there's like a autonomic biological response where we hear we and we're like, oh, okay, so we signals human connection, which we all, remember, desperately need. Over 3 out of 5 of us are lonely, and it's probably 4 out of 5 at this point. So when we hear the word we, it's like, oh, this is an opportunity to connect. So say, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could just hang out and have lunch without our phones? Would you be willing to do that? So then, okay, you're going to be on that short list of the person who wants to have lunch without my phone on. And maybe they're not going to want to come back to have lunch with you, but I think what's more likely, especially, now remember, you're setting them up now to have a 45-minute, hour-long or more conversation with you. So you got to show up well, right? So once you do that, what's the key? Listen. Ask questions about their life. Everyone loves to talk about their life, right? So the William James, the psychologist, once said, the deepest human craving is the desire to feel appreciated. If you appreciate people, they'll come back. Right? So ask them about their lives. Ask them about, and you can ask open-ended questions. So how have you been? What's been going on lately? And you can also ask specific questions that show that you're really paying attention. So I did an interview study with a few hundred executives about like how they want their leaders to interact with them. And one thing that really annoys them is when leaders ask them, so how's your family? Right? So imagine you're managing like 100 people. You come in, you see them in the office. Hey, Maria, how's your family? And then they tell you, and then If you guys, how was your vacation? And they tell you. One thing that unnerves them more than anything is when leaders then don't remember the next time, because they got 100 different conversations going on with 100 different team members, and the next time, hey Maria, how was your family? And Maria's like, you know what? You don't even remember the names of you don't even remember my husband's name. So why are you asking me that, right? So what I call nuanced holistic interest, meaning the way you're listening is nuanced. You're paying attention to the details of their lives. You remember maybe the name of their dog, the name of their husband, their brother, important people in their lives. You remember that they went on vacation to Spain or to Jamaica or wherever they were. You remember some of these details. So it's nuanced, and it's also holistic. Your interest is not about just how you're interacting with them, like whatever objectives you may have. Like in a work setting, as a leader, your interest is not just about how the output that they're contributing to the organizational cause or the mission. You're also interested holistically about their whole life, about their family and their friends and some challenging periods they've had in their lives. If you can do that, if you can listen with nuanced, holistic interest to others, they will be back. And you will have deeper, more meaningful conversations. Remember, empathy, based on Sarah Conrath's research and others, the social psychologists, empathy is down 40% in the last 15 years. Both cognitive empathy, which is putting yourself in someone else's shoes or perspective taking, and affective empathy, which is also called empathic concern, feeling what others feel. Both down 40%. So someone like you that can express nuanced, holistic interest, really listen and pay attention to the details of someone else's life, that's in very short supply, as it's never been. So you're going to become quite a social commodity if you do that, and people will be delighted to have a meal with you or go for a walk with you and keep their ringers off. 2 last strategies. You're sitting across the table from that person who won't turn their phone off, and it's buzzing and ringing and annoying the hell out of you. So one is that you say to them, Maria, I really value getting to see you and spending time together. Is it possible that we could do this without our phones on, so we can just hang out and get to spend some quality time together? That's one way. And then the other, and this is actually my personal favorite, is that you say, hey Maria, I heard about this really cool game, okay? I dare us to try this, okay? I dare us to try this. So let's put our phones in our pockets, because there's all these studies showing that even seeing a phone causes stress if you're at a meal or anywhere. So how about we do this? Whoever answers the phone first during our lunch pays the bill. Would you be willing to try it? Let's see if it works, right? So anyway, there's a lot of different ways. I think the important thing is to have levity and go about it. Don't point the finger. Just hey, remember hey, you know what, Maria, I know we are all so connected with our phones right now and not connected with each other. God, wouldn't it be great if we could maybe we could just have our lunch without our phones? Or how about this? Whoever picks up the phone first pays the bill. You want to do that? Or how about we just say, let's turn our phones off. And maybe in the middle, we could take a 5-minute break if you feel restless or nervous about it, and we could both check our phones for 5 minutes and then turn them off again. But again, that's breaking that deep connection. So I would say it's better to do that before you get started or after. Any rate, think about your own life, your own friends, and the people that you value. How can you connect with them in a meaningful way, so that and find strategies so that your face-to-face interactions do not decay because of the time you're spending on your phones and other devices.
Life offers us many challenges, and theartoflivingfree.org offers new ways of thinking so we can see these challenges from a new angle and overcome them. Whether it's Anthony Silard's free blog, video or podcast series, his book, Screened in: The Art of Living Free in the Digital Age, or personalized courses, theartoflivingfree.org will help you refine your life vision and then transform it into action. Find out more at theartoflivingfree.org.